Welcome to the Bleav Network's Best of Bleav Hour on Stadium. Do you believe?
We're back, baby. It's the charity stripe pitcher free throws because they are free. Joshua Fisher, Alexander Toss Me the Rock, Desopoulos, and for the first time ever on national television, right here on Stadium, DJ Nicky Snacks Kreider. Wow, 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 wow. This is the best of Bleav. Who's Bleav? Who's the charity stripe? It's only our second show, so we got to introduce ourselves a little bit. The charity stripe, 3 former Longhorns, us 3 right here. Nick was a walk-on.
Wait.
On Texas
Once a
football.
Longhorn, always a Longhorn.
Once a Longhorn, always a Longhorn. So we're not former Longhorns. We're still currently Longhorns. Someone actually the other day at the beach told me that I was so college for doing the I believe chant. Like the I believe it, we will win chant.
Where did you do it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone just said I believe, and I believe, by the way, spelled Bleav. And I said I believe that we will win. They go, oh, you're so college. But you know what, Nick? You're right. Once a Longhorn, always a
Doesn't that make
Longhorn.
you feel good though?
It does make me feel good that I'm still youthful. Like I'm still youthful like that. And then I was like, actually, it's a U.S. men's soccer cheer, so maybe you're the one that's still in college. And then I went to throw out the trash that we left on the beach. Adult.
Wow.
But that's the charity stripe in a nutshell. We talk sports. Our game is knowing yours. Nick also covers Padres with Ring the Bell, Pods Talk with Heath Bell. Toss does Bleav in Mavs. We all do Horns Up, Talking Texas with the great Quan Cosby together on Bleav right here on Stadium. This is the best of Bleav. Bleav. What is Bleav? It's an omni-channel home to 400-plus podcasts. Not just sports, but we have a lot of sports, over 150 athletes, and you'll be seeing a lot of that right here on the show, Best of Bleav. We'll go through multiple clips, talk about the latest and greatest in sports, and Bleav is just an awesome place. Anywhere you get your podcast, go to Bleav.com. Spell again, Bleav. What kind of podcast do you like? We have it over there at Bleav. Pick a team, pick a sport, because obviously we have that team. You like underwater basket weaving? We actually have a podcast. We have drunk knitting and sober knitting. Like that's like legit. Like the underwater basket weaving
That's
is like
actually on its way.
It's like a ha tickle me.
It's around the corner though.
It is right around the corner, just like Christmas. Not too early to buy a present. But yeah, Bleav. So many great shows. And again, we'll be touching on a bunch of them over here. We are the charity stripe. Do not go anywhere. Don't change the channel because great stuff is coming your way. Hit your free throws. Joshua Fisher, Alexander Desopoulos, and yes, Nicky Snacks Kreider. We're back, baby. It's the charity stripe. Hit your free throws because they are free. Joshua Fisher, Alexander Desopoulos, Nicky Snacks Kreider. Best of Bleav right here on Stadium. We promised you guys great Bleav content. We're giving you great Bleav content. Tutan Reyes, Takeo Spikes, Behind the Mask, talking training camp. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this clip.
Training camp could go either way. You know what I mean? Everybody thinks they have it worse. You got your young fellas that want to get there, improve their roster spots. Then you got your veterans like yourself, like you were, and you like, I just want to get out healthy. All I want to do
is get out of camp healthy.
Get out of camp healthy, make it to the regular season where it really starts. And some guys are holding out for contracts. You know what I mean? Some guys are faking. Receivers do this a lot. Fake the hamstring injuries and the little tweaks so they could go ride the bike and chill.
What?
How many times have you seen that? It's like
They do. And I don't even care if they get mad because guess what? I don't blame them.
Yeah.
They run full speed. Like it ain't you can't develop timing with half speed.
Right.
Everything they do is full speed. When you look at F1, Formula One races, they ain't going. Lewis Hamilton ain't going around that track half speed. He's opening that thing up, and guess what he does after he finishes? Take it back to the garage so they can work on it.
First of all, I love those guys' setup. They're hilarious together.
Awesome.
They're awesome together. And it's really great, first of all, aside from them hearing talk about training camp, that they watch F1 as well. That F1 is taking the nation by storm. We love F1.
Oh, Josh and I are already suited up to be F1 drivers for Halloween this year.
But not on the same team. I'm going Ferrari.
I'm going Mercedes.
Yeah. So, oh, really? I thought you were Red Bull. I guess Toss is going to have to be Red Bull. But we'll let him pick.
Toss is definitely like a Verstappen guy.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. But we're Tutan Reyes and Takeo Spikes, guys. And in this clip, it's really – because they bring up the point that a lot of us are feeling watching training camp, and the vets just want to get there and get healthy. And that's so important. Like, there's a fine line between holding out, which I don't always think bodes well and hasn't boded well in the past, and, like, playing every single snap of every single preseason game, which guys don't do. But the younger guys, the fringe guys, the young guys want to make their mark, like they're saying. The fringe guys want to make the roster. But the older guys, we've already seen an injury in Tampa with the center. We saw an injury in Dallas, James Washington, the new receiver, a guy. Michael Gallup's already out in Dallas, so they want James Washington to come in and be that number 2 next to CeeDee. They've gotten rid of Amari Cooper. He's now in Cleveland. Poor guy over there. And it's really just imperative that these guys get through camp healthy, and then we'll see what happens. Let it lie how it lies. Roll the dice when the season gets here. But it's so important that they get there healthy, and I just think that's a really good point and great insight.
It's a great point and it's great insight, but to me, I don't see how it's something that can really change, right? They're talking about positionally, like a wide receiver, you really have to go out there and you have to do it full speed. Mm-hmm. But you need those reps, right? You have to. It's such a physical sport, and it's such a small season comparatively to F1, to to MLB, of course, NBA. So you have to get those reps in. So I don't really see. It's unfortunate these injuries that happen, but I don't see long term how you really change that.
I don't think you can.
There's not really a ton you can do, honestly. Yeah. I mean, I remember when I was playing football at Texas in high school and in college, you run routes at full speed, you run routes at half speed, but I mean, in the off season, really all you're doing is agility work and speed drills, and so you're trying to keep yourself conditioned. But they're just anomalies whenever those injuries happen, right? If you tore an ACL or you tear an Achilles or you pop a hammy, like that just happens. That's just your body breaking down.
Yeah, I don't think they had a solution. It was more just like you just got to hope you get through it.
As long as your guy's not taking hits consistently.
Yeah,
on,
I mean,
like,
no.
If that's the reason why he's getting injured.
That's bull.
Right. Yeah, you can't be getting pounded out there. But it's a really interesting point that they bring up, something we always think about. Okay, we have more great stuff coming your way. We have Patriots Report, LeGarrette Blount, Chris Price talking Patriots football, and another AFC team, Bleav in Jets, Lamont Jordan, Andrew Golden talking Jets football. Don't go anywhere. Enjoy these clips.
Most of the time when New England plays, win, lose, or draw, whether they're blowing someone out or they're losing by a lot or whatever, they're going to always be probably the most conditioned team on the field. Mm-hmm. Like you're not gonna hardly ever see them like gasping for air. Like, I mean, granted, all the big guys, I don't care what team you're on. If you're 300 pounds, that's just normal. You're just not going to be able to do it what the 210, and you know what I'm saying? But they might be able to stay in the game for 4 more plays, versus the guys that aren't going to be able to come in there and play and finish, they might have to come out immediately. So, that hill plays a huge factor in it because, they treat it like the game first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. And, even though you don't go in this many overtimes ever in any season, it's always overtime, so it's always overtime. Like, Bill, bro, we didn't have one overtime game. We only had one overtime game since I was here. Like, they don't need, but that's that's a part of his regimen. That's what he does, and he's not going to sway away from that. And that's a part of who he is, and a part of why he is so successful, because he does stick to a lot of those old school rules of football, the old school ways of preparing for football, and I like that.
That was Patriots Report with Chris Price, LeGarrette Blount. Right now, we have Lamont Jordan and Andrew Golden, Bleav in Jets. Sit tight.
Credit to Robert Saleh, because the culture of a team, this doesn't feel like a team that won 4 games last year. No. This feels like a team that's hungry. This feels like a team that knows they're talented and they're ready to compete and they're ready to change this narrative. And that all starts at the top.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think it starts at the top. And then once again, you look at the work that Zach Wilson has put in, and you talked about it with the culture. This is a culture where if you're a young player, you have young players on this team, rookies from last year, that had a significant amount of playing time. And so you coming in as a young player, if there's one thing that you have to have set in your mind, is it doesn't matter if you're a rookie or you're a vet, you're going to have an opportunity to compete for serious playing time and help put this team in position to win. And it goes back to the competition. The way this roster has been built, it creates competition all the way across the board. And it creates the competition in training camp, but what it does is it gives you so much depth throughout the course of the season in a game where injuries are going to happen. And so I'm really excited for this team this year. I'm praying that everybody gets through training camp, gets through preseason healthy, and that we can start the season. healthy.
2 AFC East teams talking training camp. One team has been a well-oiled machine pretty much our entire lives, hasn't changed head coach. We have Matt Patricia back in the fold. There's been some uproar about them not naming a coordinator. They haven't had a defensive coordinator since 2017, since Matt Patricia left to go be the Lions head coach, and they are now not naming an offensive coordinator with Josh McDaniels going to be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I have no problem with that.
I think it's a little different, though.
Why?
Because Bill Belichick's a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah, I mean, I have no issue with them not naming a coordinator.
Exactly. But an offensive coordinator does a lot for a team, in my opinion.
They haven't had one before. They won 14 games. I think it was 2010 where they won 14 games.
But you also have Tom Brady, so he's an offensive coordinator.
It's true, and you need one with a young guy. That's a great point. You probably need one with a young guy. So I think
it's not good for Mac Jones' development.
No, it's not great for it. But they have Matt Patricia. They have Joe Judge. It sounds like they'll be splitting duties, or maybe Matt Patricia will be calling plays. I think Robert Saleh, it's great to see that he's getting his ducks in a row with the Jets and that those guys are gung-ho about how the football season's going to go. But it's the AFC is so tough. I can't imagine the Jets
tough,
being
but
good.
It's also the Jets. And I say this with, the most sincerity that I do think that their young core is very exciting and that they have good players that are talented.
Yeah.
But it's still the Jets.
Yeah.
And they still need a lot of work to be done. They still need to add they need to add vets.
It's about taking steps forward for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that connection between Zach Wilson and Elijah Moore. I know Nick.
I love Elijah Moore.
Big Elijah Moore guy, big sleeper in fantasy this year. You want to see them connected. You want to see Zach Wilson take that step forward. You want to see him reduce the amount of turnovers that he has, fumbles and interceptions. I thought it was really, really cool, though, what LeGarrette was saying about how many times they work in training camp, those end-of-game moments, doing that again and again and again, even though they might only play in one overtime game in that season. That's valuable experience. I mean, how many times does Steph Curry take a 75-foot shot? Right? Why is he the best full court shooter in the NBA? Because he does it all the time.
They're conditioned. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's great to hear both perspectives. I mean, obviously both guys played for the team. That's what we do here at Bleav. Don't go anywhere. We have more Bleav content coming your way. We have Casey Stern Unfiltered
and Bleav in Queens with Tyler Ward, Bleav Zone, Joe Cirillo, and former Met Anthony Recker. Sit tight. We'll be right back. Hit your free throws.
'Cause they free.